Hello everyone, this is David, Fairly Secret Music. I haven't done one of these in a while because I haven't had extra money to spend. Um, but now that I have a job and within the next week or so, I am going to be working full time or even more than full time. I decided to kind of treat myself this week and about a lot of stuff. I figured I can pay it off fairly quick, and I decided that I was going to get some Blind Guardian. So the first half of this is going to be all the Blind Guardian stuff, and then I'll show you all the other stuff that I got. So, first off, I have had this since probably, when did this come out? 2098 or something like that. I have had this since the mid 2000s. There was a point in like 2006 or 2007 that I was obsessed with power metal. And the nice thing about being obsessed with power metal is that after your obsession goes down, that you can then think of power metal in kind of like a more, okay, what are the really standout power metal bands? Or, you know, I guess, because Blind Guardian are considered a power metal band, aren't they? I'm thinking they are. I've always considered them a power metal band. So I got a lot of stuff like, what was it, Rhapsody, Domini. I still have all the Domini stuff. Just a bunch of stuff on, there was a certain label that did a lot of power metal. I can't remember which one it is. But I kept Blind Guardian, Nightfall in Middle Earth. If you have any friends that are kind of on the fence, have them listen to the song Into the Storm, because that is the song that kept me coming back. I haven't listened to a ton of Blind Guardian. I just know that I like everything that I've heard. So I decided, my friend Michelle is obsessed with Blind Guardian right now. Every time she sends me a postcard, every time we talk on the phone, she talks about Blind Guardian and Hansi and everything. So I listened to this a couple weeks ago, liked it, found another used one, decided to get that, liked that a lot too. So this whole process for the last month has been kind of stressful on me. So most people stress eat, I stress music shop. So not that I didn't want these anyway, but technically I probably should have waited, but I don't think the other shoe's gonna drop and have everything crumble around me. So I won't tell you which ones were used, I won't tell you which ones were new. I'm just telling you that, let's just say I have the whole collection now, because I do. So, Battalions of Fear, I didn't realize how thrashy Blind Guardian were to begin with. And Hansi actually plays bass on the first, I think, 4 or maybe even 5 studio albums. I think he plays bass up until Nightfall in Middle Earth. But I listened to this one. I actually made it so I had to drive slower and on back roads today so I could listen to this whole album, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to listen to everything in chronological order. And the cool thing with these Nuclear Blast ones is you get CD1 is the remix and CD2 is the original. And I believe they were remixed sometime in 2007 by Charlie Bauerfeind, or I can't remember. Bauerfeind, yes. So the cool thing is, let me take this down. That's the original. My dogs are barking. Hey, shut up! So that's the original cover. And then it's almost like they said, okay, what if we were going to re-release this? What would the new cover be? And that's the new cover, basically. So the new cover goes with the remix, and the original cover goes with the original. And then the booklet, of course, has the original cover, and then the back of the booklet is what the new cover would be. And so none of these CDs say disc 1 or 2. And then I'm not going to show you every one of them, but it basically tells you what is on CD 1 and 2. Sometimes those are different because sometimes the remixed version will have a bonus track or 2 or 3. But the cool thing is it goes through all these, has the special thanks back then, and then every one of them says the here and now and has a little like thing about it. And then each of the band members that are still in the band, I assume, talk about them. So that's Battalions of Fear, and I have listened through that all the way through. And just like Darcy said, oh, and Darcy is also another influence of me buying Blind Guardian. Between him and Michelle, there's been a lot of talk of Blind Guardian lately too. Oh, and then Brendan Van D, he also showed his whole Blind Guardian collection. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to show mine. And that was actually before I knew I was going to get all the things that I got. I will show you the original covers and what the new cover looks like. And this one has the same amount of tracks on it. And one of the first things I do is I go through, I take out the discs, make sure they're not cracked or anything like that. This one is Follow the Blind, sorry. This is Tales from the Twilight World. And this is a fantastic cover. This is where I think their covers get better originally. But some of these are really awesome. And this one, of course, has the exact same remix verse, new version, or the original version, Somewhere Far Beyond. So that's what the original cover would look like, and that's what the new one looks like. I really like this one. I mean, the original cover is cool. And I wonder, I was going to check this before I started this video. I wonder if the guy who does like this cover is the same guy that does graveyard covers. So here's a little bit of information. The Tokyo Tales, this is a live album. This is their first live album, and I believe it was done around whoops, let me see when it was done. I want to say it was in 92. 92 is talked about, so I'm going to assume it was done in 92. That's the one thing that I've noticed is they don't really give a lot of, you kind of have to search for it. They don't tell you what the original release date was. So 1993. So, original cover. I should probably make 2 videos. And new cover. I really like that. This actually does have an extra track. I just don't know which one it is. I can't believe this band does a cover song of Barbara Ann. Or Barbara Ann. Ba 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 Barbara Ann. It's kind of silly. See, this one has an extra track. So Hansi was playing bass on this at that time live, and there's a song called where is it? Lost in the Twilight Hall that is on all three of their live CDs. And I listened because I was kind of on the fence of whether I wanted to buy all their live albums. And so I listened to YouTube videos of all three shows and listened to that song in particular to see what the difference is. And I actually really like the bass sound on this original first live album. And I was wondering why it was so kind of upfront and whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's because it wasn't just a studio bass player or a touring bass player. Maybe I'll just show you like this. So this is Imaginations from the Other Side. And I believe like this album, their third album, is kind of where they took a turn, and same with that, and less thrashy and more I don't like holding them, less thrashy and more power metal. So this is what the original cover looks like, and then that's what the, like if they were going to have a second cover. This has 2 bonus tracks on the remix version, The Wizard and Systems Failing. I believe The Wizard is Uriah Heep, and I'm not sure about System Failing. And this I possibly would have passed on had I known that it was like a compilation CD. It has cover songs and then acoustic versions of a lot of songs, and I was on the fence. I listened to, I believe, let's see, the original 13 songs that were on it, and decided, yeah, I'm gonna just keep it because a lot of those acoustic songs are really, really cool. So here's what the original cover looked like, and that's if they were gonna, no, that's the second version of the cover. I really like this one. I like them both, but that one I prefer. So yes, I kept a CD with a bunch of cover songs. This is the new version of Twilight, or Night, what is it called again? Nightfall in Middle-earth, sorry. And this one on disc 2, it has Harvest of Sorrow, and on disc 1, it has Doom and the Tides of War, which aren't. So each disc has 1 or 2 extra tracks. And this is the original cover. So I don't like the new version. I like this one much better. A Night at the Opera. It's kind of a bold title, if you ask me. Whoops. I had this sign up that said return movies in slot. I threatened, didn't threaten, I just told my video store I used to go to that their return movies in slot, I was going to come and change the O to a U, and they actually made me this. Anyway, back to Nightfall, or Blind Guardian, A Night at the Opera. I'm not sure which, I like this cover actually better. This one's a little cartoony for my taste. And this one, the bonus stuff on disc 1 is Age of False Innocence, pre-production mix 2018, and Under the Ice, pre-production mix 2018. 10 years after they did that first one, they did a second live album. It is just entitled Live. I thought they should have called it Bard's Tavern. That would have been cooler. This is the original cover, and that is the new cover. I actually really like both of them. This one totally makes me think it's the guy that does Graveyard's artwork. The only non-digipack in the whole bunch, which is kind of annoying. I know there's a digipack version, but I really just wanted it. And it has a, 12-minute interview with the band, I believe. This one is, what is it called? A Twist in the Myth. So that's the only, this is the last one that's been done as a 2-disc version. So, and they did those in 2019, so these are all very new. This was the one I got the other day that kind of spurred this whole madness on. And this is a 2-disc version, and on disc 2 it has, let me see here, I'll put it up here so you can see it. Sacred Worlds, Wheel of Time, You're the Voice, Tanalorn, Curse My Name, Voice in the Dark, Sacred, A Journey to the Edge of Time. Well, that's a documentary, a 20-minute documentary. And all the rest are pretty much pre-production, orchestra versions, radio edit, demo, and a video. So CD2, I think you have to put in your computer to watch that and stuff. So, and then Blind Guardian, Beyond the Red Mirror. I found this one used also, and this is the deluxe edition with the bonus track called The Grand Parade. So this is their newest studio album, which was 2015. I'm not really talking about any of the music because there's a lot of this that I have not listened to. This is the newest thing. It's 2017. It is called Live Beyond the Spheres. So, that is all the Blind Guardian stuff that I've gotten in the last few days. Yeah, I went crazy. This is also, this also has the Lost in the Twilight Hall song on it, and this is the most, I think, bass heavy, especially the bass drums. So has the 3 discs and then a nice booklet that has lots of pictures. I think it's kind of shitty that, you know, they don't have at least 1 or 2 pictures of just like a page picture. Like you get pictures like this of the 3-4 guys that are in the band or as band members or whatever, and there's not like a 1-page picture of the bass player. I mean, there is a picture of him kind of in shadows and stuff, or the keyboardist. And I always just think, you know, they're there, they're doing their part too. You should give them a little bit more credit than that. I believe there's a DVD that goes along with this, because there's a YouTube video that has live concert that comes up when you type in live Beyond the Spheres. So I think that is long enough for this video. I will do another video for all the other stuff that I got. So that was my Blind Guardian video. Oh, now I need to get Demons and Wizard, who are actually coming to play here at a place called the Skyway Theater, which I've heard kind of sucks, but who knows? Maybe I'll go? I'm not sure. You never do know.